Hello there, and welcome to Sleep Science 360. You've arrived at a gentle moment, and the night is already soft around you. Nothing needs your attention. Nothing pulls you forward or away. A quiet sky settles in the background of your thoughts, and the shapes of constellations begin drifting toward you like faint lines of evening light. You're allowed to be exactly as you are, unhurried, warm, settling low. Light that left its star before you were born is touching you tonight. The words fall through you like a slow breath. Your shoulders loosen a little. The room grows quieter, and the body remembers how to rest. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. You can rest now. Above you, the sky holds its ancient geometry, starlight spaced by thousands of years, patterns that move so slowly they feel perfectly still. And as you drift toward that stillness, the science begins to open in a gentle, patient way. Somewhere in the quiet, our breath and the night fall into the same rhythm. Slow, low, steady. And as we settle together, the story of the sky unfolds in soft, careful layers. We drift into the first fact with ease. Most constellations are shaped from stars, dozens to hundreds of light years apart, even though they appear side by side. Your mind doesn't need to hold the distance, only the softness of understanding that what looks close is often immeasurably far. The night teaches this gently. Another fact arrives like a passing breeze. The constellations we recognize today were standardized in 1, 9, 2 to 8, 8 quiet shapes forming the modern celestial map. Not urgent, not dramatic, just an agreement across time. A calm structure placed on an older, deeper sky. And a third fact settles just beneath it. Most stars inside a constellation aren't related. They only appear connected from our point of view. Perspective becomes a quiet teacher. Patterns turn into soft illusions drawn by the slow movement of space. It's okay to drift. These facts linger. Light is dust on a slow current. Thin lines connecting points of distant fire. A geometry so soft you could breathe through it. The mind doesn't have to follow every line. Only the feeling of a map gently unfolding above you. Your breath deepens. The day loosens. Somewhere, light continues to travel. We move together, slowly, through the next gentle idea. Earth's rotation carries you beneath an invisible dome of stars, turning 1,670 kilometers per hour at the equator, a speed you never feel, a motion that cradles you through every night of your life. It's okay to drift. Then, another curiosity opens with a soft glow. Even the most familiar constellations change shape over thousands of years because stars drift through space at kilometers per second. The patterns are temporary, even if they feel timeless. The sky is a slow river, and then a tender fact. When ancient navigators steered by the North Star, they followed a point only 1 degree off perfect alignment with Earth's axis. A tiny imperfection guiding entire journeys. A star steady enough to be a companion. You can rest now. The imagery rises like a faint tide. A quiet ocean, a wooden ship, a night sky floating above dark water, Polaris glimmering like a soft lantern. And in that image, everything slows. Everything grows distant, warm, and steady. We continue drifting gently. As the science softens further, constellations exist because the human brain seeks patterns. It's called pareidolia, a deep instinct to connect scattered points. The sky becomes a canvas of memory, shapes born from quiet storytelling, and your breath moves in light, steady arcs. The room grows softer around you, the air cools, you feel weight sinking down through the bed. It's okay to drift. We breathe deeper into the next calm detail. The ancient Greeks formalized many of the constellations we use now, but their origins stretch across dozens of cultures over thousands of years. The sky was a shared language long before words, every point of light a note in a slow, cosmic song. Another fact glows softly behind it. The brightest stars and constellations often have names older than recorded history. Aldebaran, Deneb, Rigel, Spica, each drifting across generations like quiet lanterns. Their syllables hold the echo of distant ages. The universe remembers, and then a fact carried on a slower breath. Each star you see with the naked eye is usually within a few hundred light years close neighbors in a vast, quiet space. Not overwhelming, just near enough to feel like companions in the dark. You can rest now. An image rises gently, a dome of faint lights, stars glowing through thin air, Earth rotating beneath them like a slow cradle. The night wraps around you like fabric woven from faraway suns. Your breath softens, your mind loosens. Somewhere, the sky continues its patient turning. We drift into deeper scales now, but without weight or urgency. The Milky Way rotates once every 230 million years, a full, slow breath of creation. Time widens, smooth as a sleeping ocean. The galaxy drifts in silence. It's okay to drift. Orion's belt stars lie between 700 and 1,400 light-years away. But they align in a way that feels close, personal, familiar. A pattern learned by millions of eyes over thousands of nights. A gentle reminder that perspective shapes everything. The Southern Cross fits inside a patch of sky no wider than 6 lunar diameters. Small, bright, steady, a symbol of southern nights, a guide in quiet oceans, a constellation that settles perfectly into memory. Imagery returns like a soft tide, a horizon glowing with starlight, the faint smear of the Milky Way rising, constellations floating above calm water, their reflections trembling on the surface. Your breath deepens again, slow and warm. You drift a little farther into the quiet. We continue. Stars appear brighter when they rise, an effect called atmospheric extinction, because the air they pass through becomes thinner overhead, a simple truth carried on a gentle curve of light. Some constellations never set at certain latitudes, they're circumpolar, circling the pole like slow guardians of the night. They keep watch without rushing. Ancient temples were aligned with constellation risings, Orion in Egypt, the Pleiades in Greece, the Southern Cross in Polynesia. Stone, sky, and time layered in the same slow breath. It's okay to drift. Imagery warms. Pillars casting long shadows. A horizon framed by stars. People thousands of years ago breathing under the same night you breathe under now. In the quiet between stars, you are remembered. Your body softens further. Your mind drifts. You feel the slow hum of the night touching everything around you. We drift into the next soft cluster of facts. The Pleiades are only about 100 million years old, young stars shimmering in a loose cloud 440 light years away. Their blue light is a whisper of newness. The Big Dipper is not a constellation, but an asterism, a pattern inside the larger shape of Ursa Major, a small truth held inside a larger one. Stars within constellations drift apart over tens of thousands of years, reshaping the sky so quietly you'll never notice. The changes belong to deeper time. You can rest now. The image flows easily, the Big Dipper tilting across seasons, the Pleiades rising like frost in the dark, Orion walking the winter sky with a belt of 3 precise lights. Your breath moves softer, lower. You drift without effort. Somewhere, light continues to travel. We move toward the end of this first flow, still wrapped in gentle science. The human eye can see about 2,000 stars under perfect dark sky, conditions a field of faint, ancient fires. But in a city, the visible stars may drop to just a few dozen, turning constellations into thin outlines. Still, the patterns persist. Even a dim sky remembers its shape. Starlight takes between 4 years and thousands of years to reach Earth, traveling 300,000 kilometers per second, a silent journey across quiet space. And the faintest stars, visible without instruments, glow at magnitude 6, right on the edge of human perception, a boundary of darkness and light. Met with nothing but your steady breath. It's okay to drift. The imagery softens like closing hands. A sky of faint lights suspended above you, a world turning slowly beneath, a night that needs nothing from you except rest. Your breath slows into a softer rhythm. Your thoughts lengthen, smooth and warm. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. We drift together now, moving a little deeper into the quiet. The shapes of constellations soften around the edges, settling into the gentle physics that holds them. Everything feels slower here, lighter, as if the night itself breathes in long, quiet rhythms. It's okay to drift. The sky above us looks still, but inside that stillness, subtle motions flow like currents. We begin with a soft truth. Every star in every constellation shines because of nuclear fusion, releasing light that travels across space at 300,000 kilometers per second. The mind doesn't need the math, only the warmth of knowing that distant fire moves toward us in perfect silence. Your breath settles with it. Another fact glows gently. Stars emit light across many wavelengths visible. Ultraviolet, infrared, yet the atmosphere filters and softens what reaches the ground. This is why constellations shimmer instead of burn. Earth's air becomes a quiet veil, cooling the sky with its tender distortion. You can rest now. A third fact drifts into place like a slow-moving ember. The twinkling of stars' scintillation comes from turbulence in Earth's atmosphere, bending starlight as it falls. Not a flaw, not an interruption. Just a gentle ripple, like moonlight on water. The night keeps its softness. Imagery rises easily from these truths. Points of light passing through layers of calm, cool air. Colors shifting slightly, edges blurring into a quiet glow. A sky softened by the very breath of our planet. Everything moves in slow harmony. We continue drifting. Most stars and constellations burn at temperatures between 3,000 and 30,000 Kelvin. But from this distance, they feel cool, steady, and safe. A balance between intense physics and gentle appearance. It's okay to drift. Blue stars are hotter than red stars, yet both sprinkle the constellations with a palette so faint it feels like a whisper. A color language carried across impossible distances. The brightness you see, apparent magnitude, depends on both distance and power, quietly showing that what seems bright may be small, and what seems dim may be vast. A reminder that perception is shaped by distance. You can rest now. The imagery forms like soft ink spreading in water. Bluish stars flickering gently. Red embers glowing at the edges of sight. Golden points trembling through thin air. A palette made not by paint, but by heat and time. Your breath lingers in the warmth of the colors. The science drifts a little deeper. Each star emits photons created in its core. Photons that take thousands to millions of years to reach the surface before crossing space. Light older than civilizations. Light older than memory. A slow rising from interior to infinity. Red giants and constellations have expanded to many times the diameter of the sun, yet appear as tiny specks, a softness born of distance. The physics stretches, yet the sky stays calm. White stars show strong hydrogen lines, while red stars show molecular bands, creating subtle spectral signatures wrapped inside the glow. Patterns hidden inside points. It's okay to drift. Imagery returns in a long, slow wave. Starlight carrying ancient fingerprints. Spectral lines painted across invisible wavelengths. A quiet code drifting toward Earth. You feel the weight of time becoming lighter. Our breath deepens into the next soft cluster of truths. The distance to stars is measured in light years, 9.46 trillion kilometers, but the mind can release the number and keep only the sense of vastness, a wide, open feeling. Parallax shifts of stars are measured in arcseconds, a movement so small it takes sensitive instruments to detect. The night stays still to your eyes, even as the stars drift gently. You can rest now. Proper motion, stars drifting sideways across the sky changes constellations on timescales of tens of thousands of years. Patterns sliding quietly, shapes rearranging with infinite patience. The sky moves with the softness of deep time. Imagery spreads across the quiet. Lines between stars stretching. Subtle motions like sand shifting under slow tides. Constellations leaning into future shapes not yet visible. Your breath follows the slow unfolding. We drift into deeper parts of the physics. Massive blue stars burn quickly, living only millions of years. Their light intense but brief. Yet, from here, nothing feels rushed. Only a calm glow across the night. Red dwarfs, far smaller and cooler, burn for trillions of years, their steady light lasting longer than the current age of the universe. A soft endurance. Binary systems, two stars orbiting each other, exist in many constellations. Their dance so slow and gentle, it becomes part of the night's stillness. It's okay to drift. The imagery settles low and warm. Paired lights circling one another across centuries. Blue giants blazing briefly before fading. Red dwarfs keeping a patient ember alive for ages. A sky full of rhythms we will never feel directly yet somehow understand. We allow the breath to soften. The night grows quieter. Your body grows heavier, sinking into the space around you. Another gentle truth arrives. Dust between stars scatters blue light more than red, which is why distant stars often appear redder than they truly are. A soft veil replaced by drifting cosmic dust. Interstellar clouds dim starlight through extinction, reducing brightness without taking away the warmth. The sky becomes a filtered glow. Some constellations lie along the Milky Way's band, where star fields thicken into dense sprays of light, millions of suns blending into a soft river. You can rest now. The imagery moves like a slow breeze. The Milky Way rising pale and smooth, constellations stitched into its edge, dust lanes folding across faint starlight, a quiet river drifting through the dark. Your breath settles deeper. We drift toward the cooler side of the physics. Hot stars emit more blue and ultraviolet light, but the atmosphere softens the harshness, leaving only the gentle shimmer. Cool stars emit more red and infrared light, warming the sky with faint embers. The color index of a star, its BV value, shows its temperature, a numerical whisper hidden within its glow. Imagery returns with a twilight tone, blue-white lights trembling at the edge of sight, red embers glimmering like slow coals, all of them breathing through layers of cool air. The night becomes a soft gradient of heat and memory. Your breath remains slow and steady. The body relaxes into the gentle pull of gravity. The mind drifts without direction. A new cluster of facts folds into the quiet. Stars and constellations can range from a few solar masses to dozens, yet each appears as a delicate point. The luminosity of a star can exceed the sun's by factors of thousands, but distance smooths everything into calmness. Interstellar gas scatters shorter wavelengths, creating subtle color shifts. A quiet lens shaping the night. You can rest now. Imagery broadens. Hazy blue halos around bright stars. Redder lights deep in the background. A sky breathing through invisible clouds. Everything moves slowly. We drift further, deeper into the hidden layers. Many of the stars marking constellations are moving toward or away from us at tens of kilometers per second. Yet the night remains motionless to the eye. Radial velocities reveal this motion by stretching or compressing spectral lines, a Doppler whisper coded inside the light. Some stars and constellations belong to moving groups, clusters that drift through space together, a quiet family bound by shared motion. It's okay to drift. Imagery spreads outward like a dark ocean. Clusters drifting with quiet purpose, spectral lines shifting softly, stars gliding forward and backward through long stretches of space. You feel the vastness settling gently around you. Your breath slows again. Your thoughts loosen like distant threads. You can let the night hold you. The physics softens as we near the end of this flow. Starlight interacts with air molecules, creating subtle scattering effects that tint the horizon, fading blue into gold, and gold into a calm darkness. Refractive layers of the atmosphere bend starlight upward, letting us see stars even when they've dipped below the geometric horizon. Thermal currents shift star positions by fractions of an arcsecond. Small motions woven into the shimmer. You can rest now. Imagery falls into place, like low clouds settling, a faint horizon glow, stars trembling gently above it, layers of air folding the sky into softness, a calm world wrapped in quiet light. Your breath grows slow and warm. Your body sinks into the quiet around you. Your thoughts drift like thin lines of starlight stretched across a dark sky. Everything becomes softer. Everything becomes slower. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. The night grows quieter, and the architecture of starlight unfolds with slow intention. It stretches across the darkness in long, delicate threads, each one shaped by the physics that carries it. Nothing rushes, nothing sharpens, only the steady drift of light traveling through calm, deep space. It's okay to drift. It moves through the first soft truth. Starlight spreads out as it travels, an effect called inverse square dimming, softening brightness with distance. A gentle weakening, not a loss. A kind of cosmic exhale stretching across light years. The pattern remains steady and warm. Your breath settles with it. Another fact forms like a faint glow on the horizon. A star's color is shaped by its temperature, but the atmosphere filters and cools the hue before it reaches the eye. Even the bluest star becomes gentler here. Even the hottest flame becomes a soft tremble of light. You can rest now. A third truth drifts into place. Light is a falling feather. As photons pass through air, they scatter off molecules in tiny angular shifts, creating the soft halo around bright stars. The night becomes a blurred whisper, wrapped in the quiet breath of Earth. It feels safe to linger inside that halo. Imagery opens slowly, like a lantern lifting in dark water, starlight spreading into thin ripples, colors cooling into pale blue and gold, edges softening until they blur into one another. A sky woven from threads of gentle fire. It moves with a rhythm older than memory. The night carries another truth. Even bright stars flicker slightly because of the atmosphere's layered temperature gradients. Warm pockets, cool pockets, drifting like slow tides. Each one bends light by a fraction, creating a shimmer that feels alive. It's okay to drift. Interstellar dust dims starlight through absorption and scattering, turning distant stars into faint embers. But the embers glow steadily, patient against the dark, and cosmic dust, grains microscopic, irregular shapes, scatter blue light more efficiently, letting redder hues seep through. The sky becomes a quiet watercolor. You can rest now. Imagery deepens, layered and soft, a haze drifting between suns. Interstellar particles suspended like mist, light weaving through them in slow arcs. The night breathing through dust and distance. Everything feels weightless, spaced just far enough apart to breathe. The next gentle truth arrives like a hum under the skin. Stars radiate in all directions, but only an impossibly thin beam reaches Earth, a narrow whisper from across the galaxy. It drifts straight and silent until it finds the air around you. Another truth settles behind it. Most of the energy produced inside a star escapes as neutrinos, ghost-like particles that pass through matter without slowing. A quiet storm of passing particles, unseen and unfelt, drifting through everything. The universe hums softly with their presence. A third fact completes the trio. Starlight is polarized slightly as it scatters off interstellar dust, giving it a faint directional signature, not visible to the eye, but folded gently into the glow. It's okay to drift. Imagery floats forward like a soft tide, light sliding across dust, polarization bending in long arcs. The quiet movement of particles that will never be seen, a landscape made of pure stillness. The night grows deeper, and the physics quiets with it. Blue giant stars, rare but brilliant, illuminate dust clouds for hundreds of light years, painting faint reflections across dark space. Their glow becomes a soft wash, a delicate illumination. Red giants swell into fragile shells of gas, their outer layers drifting away like thin breath. The starlight becomes warmer, slower, gentle enough to hold in thought, and white dwarfs cool over billions of years, their fading light blending into the quiet fabric of constellations. You can rest now. Imagery turns to long shadows and faint embers, a blue star lighting a veil of dust, a red giant softening into a warm haze, a white dwarf cooling into a pale glow, a slow choreography of aging light. Somewhere above, the night continues to shimmer. Another set of truths rises like a low tide. Stars oscillate, pulsing gently as pressure waves move through their interiors. Their surfaces rise and fall, ever so slightly. A quiet heartbeat, these oscillations reveal internal structure, allowing astronomers to listen to stars through their vibrations. The sky becomes a slow, resonant hum, and sound waves inside stars move at hundreds of kilometers per second, yet burst outward into silence by the time they reach space. A song that can only be heard through light. It's okay to drift. Imagery thickens around the thought. Pressure waves trembling through hot plasma. Brightness shifting in slow pulses. A star breathing in rhythms too deep to feel. The night becomes a sleeping orchestra. A calm warmth settles over everything. You feel it ease into your chest, your shoulders, your breath. The sky moves forward in a softer register now. When starlight passes through Earth's atmosphere, wavelengths split slightly, creating refraction that bends the star's position. A tiny displacement, a subtle drift, yet the star remains a quiet constant. You can rest now. Temperature layers near the horizon bend starlight upward, making stars appear higher than they are. A gentle illusion wrapped in cool air, and as stars approach the horizon, their light passes through more atmosphere, reddening them through scattering. A warm curtain drawn across the edge of night. It's okay to drift. Imagery gathers like a slow fog, stars dipping toward the horizon, their light stretching, reddening, air thickening into gold and rust. A calm fading that invites deeper rest. Everything in the night feels unhurried. A new truth glows inside the quiet. Some stars and constellations are variable stars, changing brightness over days or months. Their rhythms continue whether seen or unseen. Cepheid variables pulse in precise cycles, their brightness mapping the scale of the universe. Distance measured by flickering breath. Eclipsing binaries dim as one star passes in front of another, a shadow slipping gently across light. You can rest now. Imagery hums through the moment. Two stars circling slowly. A pause in brightness. A rise. A pause again. A soft equilibrium of shadow and glow. Your breath follows their slow orbit. The night becomes quieter. The world grows softer. Another set of truths floats to the surface. Stars radiate photons of many energies, high-energy gamma rays, soft infrared, long radio waves. Most never reach Earth, but the small portion that does becomes the starlight you see. Infrared light passes through dust more easily, revealing hidden clusters inside constellations. And radio waves can travel across the galaxy unhindered, carrying signatures of cold gas and faint magnetic fields. It's okay to drift. Imagery stretches outward, waves sliding through dust, ripples traveling through cold space, soft glimmers hiding behind interstellar curtains. The night has many layers, all of them slow. Your breath grows warm and low. Your body loosens further. The physics softens once more. The energy of a star depends on mass. More mass means a brighter, hotter, shorter life. A gentle rule folded into the night. Red dwarfs fuse hydrogen slowly, sustaining quiet light for trillions of years. Blue supergiants burned fiercely, spreading intense light across vast distances before fading quickly. You can rest now. Imagery rises like a low fire. Soft red embers glowing with patient warmth. Blue flares burning briefly but brightly. A balance between endurance and radiance. Everything settles into harmony. Your breath drifts into longer waves. Your thoughts loosen into softer shapes. One last cluster of truth settles into the quiet. Scattering, refraction, extinction, each reshapes starlight, cooling it into the gentle patterns we see. A sky tempered by distance and air. Every star you see is a snapshot from the past, light arriving after years, centuries, or millennia. The present layered with the memory of distant time, and the faintest stars visible to the human eye sit at the threshold of perception, glowing softly at magnitude 6. You can rest now. Imagery settles like dew. Stars shimmering through thin air, light bending in slow arcs, the night folding gently around you, everything quiet, everything low. A whisper rises through the dark. The sky is a memory written in light. The line drifts through you like a calm breath sinking deeper. Your body grows heavier, your breath grows softer, you breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. The night deepens, and the mechanics behind the constellations grow softer, spreading in quiet harmonies across the dark. Patterns that once felt fixed begin to show their slow inner workings, shaped by gravity, distance, and the drifting tides of space. The universe moves with a soundless rhythm, a long breath unfolding across blackness. It's okay to drift. It begins with a gentle truth. Gravity shapes every constellation, even if its influence is too slow to feel. Stars fall toward and away from one another in quiet arcs, guided by invisible curves. Their motions stretch across thousands of years, smoothing into stillness at human scale. Your breath settles with the thought. A second truth follows like a soft hum. The stars forming a constellation lie at wildly different depths, some dozens of light years away, others thousands. Yet the mind sees them on one flat canvas, a strange and calming illusion held together by perspective and patience. You can rest now. Then a third truth settles low. Space itself expands over cosmic time, but on scales smaller than galaxies. Gravity holds patterns together. Constellations drift, but not in chaos. Their shapes bend in long, slow arcs, steady as the quiet turning of the earth. The movement feels like calm water. Imagery forms with a long, soft glow. Stars suspended at different distances, threads of gravity pulling gently on them. The illusion of flatness folding into depth. A sky layered like silk over the dark. Everything moves, but nothing rushes. Another truth rises in the background like a low tone. Every star emits a unique acoustic signature, oscillations that ring through its plasma like distant harmonies, not audible to humans, but the patterns exist, shimmering beneath the light. It's okay to drift. Helioseismology, studying starquakes, reveals the inner structure of stars, letting the universe sing quietly through vibration. And those vibrations create frequency patterns thousands of times lower than human hearing. A cosmic subbass stretching through space. You can rest now. Imagery hums at the edge of perception, low oscillations rippling through stellar interiors, pressure waves drifting outward, a sound you'll never hear, but one the universe holds constantly. The night becomes a silent orchestra, playing in wavelengths too long to notice. The next cluster of truths moves in slow spirals. Stars orbit the Milky Way at hundreds of kilometers per second, carrying the constellations with them in gentle arcs, a motion vast enough to feel still. Our solar system follows an orbit 27,000 light-years from the galactic center, drifting through space like a small boat on a slow river, and the entire constellation field shifts as Earth precesses its axis, tracing a circle over 26,000 years. The night rotates in deep time. It's okay to drift. Imagery moves like long shadows, the solar system gliding along its quiet orbit, the sky bending imperceptibly from century to century, a soft rotational breath carried through millennia. The movement becomes a lullaby, written in orbital curves. Your breath grows deeper, slower. A warm truth folds into the quiet. As Earth rotates, stars rise and set, tracing arcs across the sky like slow strokes of light. Each arc formed by motion so steady it feels still. Another truth follows softly. Stars near the celestial equator rise in straight lines, while those near the poles circle endlessly, patterns woven into the night. And the celestial sphere is an imagined dome used to map these motions, a model as old as astronomy itself. You can rest now. Imagery softens into curved lines, arcs of starlight sweeping across the sky, poles circling in patient loops, the dome of the heavens rotating around you. The geometry becomes a gentle music of motion. A quiet density settles into the night. Another set of truths moves forward like slow wind. Constellations near the horizon shimmer more because their light passes through thicker air. Warm layers and cold layers weave distortion into the glow. At high altitudes, stars sharpen, the air thinning into clarity. And in perfect darkness, starlight becomes crisp enough to reveal subtle colors: blue, gold, red, like faint paintbrush strokes on velvet. It's okay to drift. Imagery widens, a horizon trembling softly, a mountaintop sky sharpening into color, the Milky Way blooming like a pale river overhead. Everything calms into a single, slow breath. The universe continues its secret mechanics. A faint truth emerges like a whispered note. As stars move through the galaxy, their gravitational pull shapes thin streams of gas and dust, invisible threads curling behind them. Another truth glides beneath it. Nearby stars can subtly influence each other's motion, nudging paths by tiny fractions of a kilometer per second, and magnetic fields threading through interstellar space twist these threads into slow spirals, shaping the hidden structure beneath constellations. You can rest now. Imagery forms in sinuous lines, dust streams trailing behind drifting stars, magnetic currents shaping gentle spirals, a quiet choreography beneath the visible sky. Your breath moves with the curves. A poetic whisper settles into the dark. Every pattern in the night is a memory of motion. The line settles low in the chest, like a soft, warm echo. The night grows quieter still. Your body sinks deeper. The next truths unfold slowly. The apparent size of constellations depends on angular distance, measured in degrees. arc minutes, and arc seconds. Units small enough to feel weightless. Orion spans about 20 degrees across the sky, a gentle width matching the spread of a relaxed hand at arm's length, and the smallest naked-eye double stars are only a few arc seconds apart, appearing as a single light to most eyes. It's okay to drift. Imagery narrows into fine detail. Tiny angular separations. Stars so close, they blur into one glow. Wider patterns spanning the sky like stretched silk. The scale becomes soft, measured in the quiet language of angles. The breath grows slower. Another cluster of truths drifts like falling ash. Some constellations host star clusters, groups of stars born together, drifting through space as one family. Loose, warm, and bright. Open clusters like the Hyades spread out over time, their stars slowly separating as orbits diverge, and globular clusters hold hundreds of thousands of stars, tightly bound for billions of years. You can rest now. Imagery tightens like a soft knot, clusters glowing like lanterns, threads of shared origin, thick swarms of stars holding each other in gravity's quiet embrace. The cosmos feels intimate, connected. The night breathes. The universe moves through another quiet revelation. The brightest stars and constellations often lie in the foreground, their light arriving sooner than deeper companions. Behind them, fainter stars weave a textured backdrop, a tapestry of depth, and beyond that, the Milky Way's dense star fields enrich the pattern, adding layers of faint light. It's okay to drift. Imagery deepens in 3 layers. Bright foreground stars trembling with clarity, softer background lights sifting through the dark, a river of distant suns glowing behind them. You feel the layers folding gently around your thoughts. Your body softens. Your breath eases into warm quiet. The final truths drift in like a closing breeze. The night sky changes subtly, night after night. A slow rearrangement shaped by motion and time. Constellations rise earlier each season as Earth moves along its orbit, shifting the sky by 4 minutes per day. And over thousands of years, these shifts alter the entire map, patterns sliding into new forms. You can rest now. Imagery quiets into a single shape. A sky that moves slowly enough to feel still. A world turning beneath it. Light drifting across time with infinite patience. The mechanics fade into softness. The universe exhales. You breathe softly. And the night gathers around you like a warm, steady tide. The night sinks into a deeper quiet, and the harmonies beneath the constellations begin to stretch through the dark like soft, unseen waves. They move slowly, patiently, without ever rising above a whisper. Light, distance, dust, and gravity blend into a subtle music that the universe carries without sound. It's okay to drift. It begins with a gentle truth moving through the dark. Every star emits electromagnetic waves across a broad spectrum. Yet only a sliver becomes visible light. The rest flows silently across the cosmos in long, soft wavelengths, a quiet broadcast from thousands of suns. Your breath falls into the same slow rhythm. Another truth drifts through like a low vibration. Radio waves from stars can span wavelengths longer than a room, moving gently through dust and gas with almost no resistance. They pass through clouds, past drifting molecules, across empty space. No pressure, no urgency. You can rest now. A third truth settles behind it, soft as distant wind. The Milky Way itself emits faint radio noise, thin static, created by electrons spiraling in magnetic fields. Not noise that stirs the mind, but a steady, almost meditative hum woven through the galaxy. Imagery rises like a slow tide, a galaxy humming with invisible sound, waves drifting through starlight, long arcs of energy curling across the dark. The night holds every tone gently, letting none of them disturb the softness. The universe deepens into its hidden harmonies. Infrared light, produced by cooler stars and warm dust, moves in slow pulses, like the glow of embers beneath a fire. It warms the night without being seen. Ultraviolet light from hot stars sweeps outward in sharper waves, but is softened by distance and dust long before reaching Earth. And gamma rays, high-energy bursts, fade into silence across the void, barely brushing the edges of our world. It's okay to drift. Imagery dims into darker hues. Soft infrared warmth behind dust. Ultraviolet glimmers, dissolving into distance. Gamma rays fading like sparks vanishing into deep water. Everything quiets, everything smooths. A calm truth slides into the moment. Space is never perfectly silent. Charged particles vibrate, magnetic fields ripple, and stars pulse with interior waves. Not sounds, but patterns that mimic sound. The universe breathes in silent rhythms. Another truth follows, low and slow. Solar wind streams of charged particles whispers through the heliosphere like a slow, cosmic breeze. It bends magnetic fields, flows around planets, stretches across billions of kilometers. And when these particles meet Earth's magnetic field, they stir faint radio waves that dance through the atmosphere. A hidden aurora of sound. You can rest now. Imagery forms with long, soft strokes. A gentle solar breeze drifting past distant planets. Faint waves gliding along magnetic loops. A quiet aurora circling the poles. The night feels warm, wrapped in its low harmonics. Cosmic rays, protons from exploding stars, strike the atmosphere and create cascading showers of particles. But the process remains calm, distant, slow. Nothing loud, nothing sharp. These cascades generate faint electromagnetic ripples, thin vibrations fading almost instantly. And the atmosphere absorbs most of this energy, leaving only a soft echo that blends into the quiet. It's okay to drift. Imagery flickers gently, tiny sparks dissolving into silence, waves fading before they fully form. The upper atmosphere glowing faintly like a soft lantern. Your breath drifts deeper. The night continues folding in on itself. A slow truth rises like a low chord. Neutral hydrogen atoms across the galaxy emit a specific 21-centimeter radio wave, an ancient signal drifting through the Milky Way, a quiet thread connecting star to star. Another truth settles just beneath it. This hydrogen line maps the spiral structure of the galaxy, guiding astronomers through vast distances, and the signal moves without hurry, spreading through millions of years of quiet space, never fading completely. You can rest now. Imagery unfurls like a soft banner, thin radio waves gliding down the spiral arms. A map written in gentle frequencies, the galaxy breathing through hydrogens. Ancient whisper. The night feels wide and slow. A poetic thought rises softly. The universe speaks in wavelengths too long to hear. The words settle like cool air on warm skin. Your breath slows, your shoulders sink. The weight of the day dissolves into the darkness. Another cluster drifts through the quiet. Stars with strong magnetic fields produce cyclotron radiation, curving particles into spirals that emit soft frequencies. Pulsars rotating neutron stars send out regular radio pulses, but from here, they blend into the background, steady and calming. And magnetic storms near young stars create radio bursts, flaring briefly before fading back into stillness. It's okay to drift. Imagery pulses slowly, faint radio waves turning through magnetic spirals, pulses stretching across space like long breaths, storms rising and dissolving. Everything falls into quiet equilibrium. The night feels thick now, deep, velvety, calm. It continues. Sound cannot travel through the vacuum of space, but vibrations still ripple through gas and plasma, creating pressure waves too thin to hear. Molecular clouds vibrate under gravity, their motion slow enough to last millions of years. And star-forming regions hum with shifting densities, a cradle of soft turbulence beneath constellations. You can rest now. Imagery spreads like a warm fog, vast clouds trembling with low harmonics. Empty space, folding pressure waves into silence. Light forming inside, faint, stirring gas. A cradle of calm, drifting through the night. Your breath becomes longer, smoother. Each exhale blends into the dark. A new truth rises from below the surface. Planets orbiting distant stars create subtle Doppler shifts, tiny changes in starlight that reveal their presence. These shifts move with the quiet rhythm of orbital periods, like a pulse hidden inside the glow. And over time, the constellations accumulate thousands of these subtle shifts, deepening the complexity behind familiar shapes. It's okay to drift. Imagery curls into gentle spirals, planets tugging softly on starlight, rhythms rising and falling like slow tides. Constellations carrying hidden beats beneath their quiet designs. The universe feels alive, but never loud. The sky darkens into its lowest tones. Your body sinks deeper. Another soft truth appears. Some stars and constellations emit X-rays, sharp energy that fades into warmth long before reaching Earth. Massive stars radiate strong winds that stir the gas around them, shaping soft bubbles of ionized light, and young stellar objects flicker in infrared, their first breaths hidden inside warm dust. You can rest now. Imagery glows low. X-rays, dissolving into gentle light, wind-blown bubbles expanding in slow arcs, warm dust pulsing around newborn stars. Everything slows into a single, smooth flow. Your breath loosens, your thoughts drift like soft particles carried by long waves. A final cluster settles into the moment. Magnetized plasma drifts along galactic arms, creating faint harmonics in long, low frequencies. Radiation fields overlap and blend, forming an ambient glow behind the constellations. And every point of starlight carries a history measured in distance, heat, and motion, yet arrives gently, without sound. You can rest now. Imagery cools into shadow, plasma drifting like soft smoke, long waves stretching toward nowhere, light arriving as if it had all the time in the world. The harmonies fade into stillness. Your breath slows, The night settles around you. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. The night descends into a stillness deeper than before, and beneath the quiet lattice of constellations, slow currents begin to reveal themselves. They move without sound, without pressure, drifting through the galaxy like calm rivers beneath a sleeping sky. Everything feels softened at the edges. Everything breathes in long, unbroken lines. It's okay to drift. Stars circle the Milky Way in wide, gentle arcs, moving between 150 and 250 kilometers per second. Yet the motion feels smooth and endless. The distance, the velocity, the scale, all of it dissolves into a single, steady flow. The sun carries Earth through these vast curves, completing one full galactic turn every 230 million years. A slow migration through arms of dust and starlight. You can rest now. Galactic tides shape these motions with a quiet touch, stretching or compressing stellar paths over millions of years. Nothing abrupt, nothing sharp, only a soft drift guided by gravity, like water running down a gentle slope in perfect silence. Cold clouds wander between stars at a few kilometers per second, expanding and contracting with slow, uneven breaths. Their shadows fall across starlight, absorbing specific wavelengths and leaving faint signatures carried across the night. Deep inside the densest knots of gas, future stars lie hidden, stirring in molecular darkness as gravity begins its patient pull. It's okay to drift. Shock fronts move around wandering stars where stellar winds meet the drifting gas. Curved bow shapes form ahead of them. Invisible light, but glowing faintly in the warm tones of infrared. It feels like watching a ship move quietly across a vast, dark ocean. You can rest now. Clusters of stars drift as families across the galaxy. Some remain tight for hundreds of millions of years, holding their cohesion like slow-moving lanterns. Others loosen, their members sliding outward until the family dissolves into the wider star field. Even after dispersing, the stars keep a shared chemical fingerprint, a quiet memory of where they were born. The motion feels like petals drifting apart on a warm, gentle current. Massive stars release strong winds, streams of charged particles sweeping outward in wide shells. Distance turns the force into softness. Nebulae stretch and fold under these winds, shaping chambers where light glows through thin layers of dust. Filaments lengthen into almost weightless threads. It's okay to drift. Gravity holds everything together with an invisible hand. An unseen halo of dark matter surrounds the galaxy, guiding the stars in curves that would otherwise fly apart. Its touch is quiet, steady, and patient, shaping the long evolution of the constellations without ever revealing itself. Dust grains align themselves along magnetic fields stretching for light years through the galaxy. They tilt in quiet unison, forming invisible lines that polarize the passing light. Starlight drifts through these threads, carrying a faint directional signature, subtle and unspoken. The night feels woven from countless unseen filaments, each one drifting softly in the dark. The galactic disk rises and settles in slow oscillations, lifting stars above the mid-plane and drawing them back in cycles that take tens of millions of years. The motion changes the thickness of star fields, creating layers that shift almost imperceptibly from one era to the next. A quiet breathing folded into the galaxy's broad structure. It's okay to drift. Dust lanes cast long shadows across the star fields. Light passing through them reddens, softened by tiny grains cooled by endless night. Where the dust thins, deeper layers of stars emerge, glowing through the faint haze in quiet brilliance. You can rest now. Boundaries in space move as well. Spiral arms stretch outward in long, elegant curves because the galaxy rotates at different speeds near its center and its edges. Stars follow these drawn-out paths without resistance, carried along like small lanterns riding a slow, turning wave. Every constellation you see lies on this drifting canvas, sliding gently through deep space without ever disturbing the stillness beneath your breath. Some regions glow more brightly because cold gas gathers there in thicker bands. Where the gas thins, the sky opens into clearer fields. The balance shifts slowly over millions of years, but never fast enough to disturb the quiet rhythm of the night. It's okay to drift. Stars bounce gently above and below the galactic plane in long, sweeping arcs. The oscillations shape how star density changes across the sky, creating soft gradients in brightness you feel more than you see. The motion is so wide, so slow, it becomes a kind of cosmic rocking. You can rest now. Radio waves from drifting hydrogen clouds move through the galaxy with almost no resistance. Their wavelength, 21 centimeters long, becomes a quiet signature lining the spiral arms. It's a whisper stretched across tens of thousands of light years, mapping the Milky Way with no urgency, no strain, no haste. Charged particles curl through magnetic fields in smooth spirals, creating soft cyclotron emissions. Pulsars send repeating pulses, but at this distance, the rhythm feels less like a heartbeat and more like a slow, steady sway. Energy rises and falls in waves too soft to disturb the mind. It's okay to drift. Pressure waves move through molecular clouds. The waves shift densities in long, slow cycles. Cycles that can last millions of years. It is motion, but it feels like stillness. It is movement, but too slow to unsettle. You can rest now. A line floats in the darkness like a soft breath. Even in silence, the universe continues to move. The words fall into the chest with gentle gravity. Planets tug faintly on their stars, creating Doppler shifts that ripple quietly through starlight. The shifts move in long, repeating curves, like a tide that never touches the shore. Each constellation carries thousands of these tiny motions, hidden beneath the patterns the eye sees. It's okay to drift. Some stars emit X-rays, but distance softens their sharpness until only warmth remains. Nebulae carved by stellar winds expand outward with the slowness of drifting smoke. Young stars flicker gently inside warm dust, their light filtered through layers of ancient gas. You can rest now. Magnetized plasma drifts along spiral arms, stretching into long, faint currents. Radiation fields blend into a soft backdrop behind every star. Every point of light becomes a layered memory heat, distance, motion, dust, all arriving together in a glow so gentle it feels weightless. It's okay to drift. The slow currents beneath the constellations carry everything with the softness of deep time. Your breath lengthens. Your body becomes heavier and warmer. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. The night grows softer, as if the air itself has begun to slow. Constellations rest above you in their quiet lattice, each point of light carrying the memory of its journey through thousands of years of darkness. Every direction you look into the sky holds the residue of distant motion, a calm persistence that never reaches your ears, yet settles somewhere deeper, somewhere warm, It's okay to drift. Light from the nearest stars crosses 4 to 10 years of silent space before it reaches Earth. Light from others travels hundreds of years, slipping through gas, dust, and magnetic fields without losing its softness. Some of the light entering your eyes tonight began its journey before the first telescopes were made. Some left its star long before your grandparents were born. You can rest now. The night absorbs these distances and cools them into a single stillness. Even the brighter stars, Sirius, Vega, Arcturus, carry long histories inside their glow. Sirius travels through space at more than 15 kilometers per second, yet from here, it feels fixed and steady. Vega moves even faster, drifting toward Earth across tens of millennia, and Arcturus glides through the galaxy with a quiet, ancient sweep, emerging from a population of stars older than the sunday. Their motion is vast, but feels like a slow breath stretched across time. Starlight bends as it touches the atmosphere, shifting into soft colors. Particles of air scatter the shorter wavelengths, tinting the horizon with faint gold, reddening stars near the edge of night. Higher in the sky, the light sharpens into cool whites and deep blues. The sky's gradient becomes a soft cradle, supporting every drifting thought. It's okay to drift. The faintest stars you see tonight rest right at the limit of perception. Their glow arrives as barely enough photons to trigger a response in the eye, each one completing a journey of many years. Even the dimmest of them has crossed unimaginable distance to place itself gently into your awareness. You can rest now. Somewhere high above, atmospheric layers shift with slow, rolling patterns. Warm currents meet cool ones, bending starlight into tiny tremors that create the shimmer you see. The trembling is delicate, like a breath passing over a candle flame. It gives the night a living texture subtle enough to lull the mind, steady enough to calm the body. Each shimmer feels like a small reminder that the world is still moving. Even in its quietest hours, between the stars, thin streams of dust drift silently. They dim light from behind them, softening the brightness like sheer fabric draped across a lamp. These drifting grains, carbon, silicates, ice, were born in the atmospheres of dying stars and scattered across the galaxy by slow winds. Every grain has crossed millions of kilometers. Every grain belongs to a lineage older than Earth. It's okay to drift. The Milky Way arches across the sky with its pale band of concentrated stars. From the outside, it is a spiral. From here, it feels like a river of faint glow suspended above you. Billions of suns are woven into that river, yet only a fraction are visible. The rest blend into a textured haze, the light of countless stars merging into one continuous breath of brightness. You can rest now. The light from that river is layered foreground stars glowing with clarity, middle stars with dimmer warmth, far stars merging into a curtain of silvery haze, all of them moving, all of them drifting around the galactic center in cycles older than anything the human mind can fully hold. Yet from Earth, the movement feels like the calm of a lake at night, so wide that every ripple disappears before it reaches the edge. A star's brilliance hides complex interior motion. Inside each one, hot plasma rises, cools, and sinks again in long convective loops. These flows produce faint oscillations, tiny pulses that shift brightness by small amounts. The pulses travel outward from the core, pushing gently on the outer layers, like distant echoes that reshape the surface of the star. Each brightness shift is a breath, slow and ancient, woven into the soft glow reaching your eyes. In some regions of the sky, clusters gather like families. The Pleiades shimmer blue because their stars are young and hot, wrapped in dust that reflects their light. The Hyades spread wider, older, with a warmer tone. Both drift through space at their own measured pace, their members held together by shared origin rather than visible ties. Their motion is slow enough to appear still, but gentle enough to let the mind sink deeper. As the night continues to settle, the sky feels less like a set of separate points and more like one quiet field. Patterns formed long ago begin to soften into shapes that blur into one another. Lines you once traced between stars fade into something more fluid, an impression, a feeling, a warm geometry folding inward. The constellations feel like familiar hands resting softly over the world. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. The night carries its quiet further, letting the constellations fall into a softer focus. Edges blur, brightness settles, and every pattern seems to breathe with a slower rhythm than before. Light that once felt sharp now feels rounded, softened by distance and air, as if the sky has lowered its voice. It's okay to drift. Above you, the brightest stars hold their places with patient steadiness. They appear fixed, yet each one moves through space at tens of kilometers per second, crossing vast regions of the galaxy in slow, steady arcs. Over thousands of years, these motions reshape the familiar outlines of constellations, bending lines into new forms the human eye will never fully witness. You can rest now. The night sky changes, not because it is restless, but because the universe is always in motion. Earth's axis wobbles gently over 26,000 years, shifting the orientation of the sky so subtly that only deep time can reveal it. This slow procession guides the path of the pole star, carrying the title from Polaris to Vega to distant stars yet unseen. Even this feels like a long, quiet turning of a wheel beneath the world. In some directions, old stars glow with warm, steady colors, giants cooled by age, drifting through space with the ease of embers floating in faint air. In others, young stars shine with sharper blue light, newly ignited in the arms of the galaxy. The mix of ages creates a timeless sense in the constellations, a feeling that every point of light holds both past and future. It's okay to drift. Between these stars, the darkness is not truly empty. Faint nebulae stretch in thin veils, their dust scattering starlight into soft halos, barely visible to the naked eye. Cold hydrogen clouds gather in long arcs where gravity has shaped them gently, like trails left by slow-moving rivers. These clouds carry the seeds of future stars, waiting for their moment to glow. You can rest now. Deep inside the Milky Way's dim band, clusters drift through their shared orbit. Some clusters are tight, their stars packed like beads on a string. Others are loose and spread wide, their members moving apart with the softness of petals carried on an unseen breeze. All of them are part of the galaxy's slow choreography, guided by gravity, shaped by time. Every star emits light in waves so fine and continuous that they feel like a single, endless breath. Some of the photons reaching you tonight began their journey before human civilizations formed their first constellations. Their long travel through space carries the faint memory of where they came from. Distance, age, heat, motion, all wrapped into a glow that settles gently on the eye. It's okay to drift. High above, the air thins and cools. Stars nearer to the horizon appear redder, their light filtered by thick layers of atmosphere. Stars overhead glow with crisp clarity, their light traveling through less air to reach you. Each brightness is shaped subtly by the angle of your gaze, fading into soft gradients across the sky. The world feels wrapped in a calm, patient dome of shifting tones. You can rest now. Sometimes, two stars appear near each other, but one may lie hundreds of light years behind the other. Distance compresses into illusion. The human mind arranges the sky into simple, quiet shapes, unaware of the layered depth folded inside those patterns. Constellations are stories the eye tells itself, and the universe allows those stories to remain gentle. Nothing in the view demands clarity. Nothing needs to be solved. Farther out, the spiral arms of the galaxy stretch like long, flowing ribbons. Each ribbon holds clusters, clouds, streams, and dust lanes drifting in slow harmony. The sun moves between these arms over hundreds of millions of years, carrying Earth along a path older than any living thing. The constellations you see are part of this vast journey, sliding with you through deep space. The darkest parts of the sky feel like silent chambers, places where faint starlight collects and settles. Your eyes adjust, finding subtle details, slight variations in brightness, gentle color changes, thin glimmers of stars nearly lost to distance. The faintest stars flicker at the edge of perception, each one a quiet arrival from far beyond your everyday world. You can rest now. As the night leans further into quiet, the constellations begin to feel less like shapes above you and more like threads woven into the rhythm of your breath. The sky smooths itself into one continuous field, where every point of light becomes part of a slow, enveloping calm. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. The night opens wider, settling into a quieter form. Constellations rest in their familiar places, but beneath that stillness lies a structure that moves with the softness of drifting currents. The sky is not fixed. It leans, shifts, and turns in motions too slow to disturb the breath. Earth rotates gently beneath the stars, carrying the entire dome of night in a long, smooth sweep. Every minute brings a subtle shift in position, a barely perceptible glide that turns the heavens with steady patience. The constellations follow that movement like patterns on a great wheel, rising, reaching their highest point, and descending in an endless rhythm. You can rest now. This slow rotation creates arcs of starlight that stretch across the dark, wide, gentle lines the eye cannot fully track, but the body can feel, like a distant tide moving in perfect silence. Every arc is shaped by the planets turning. Every drift of brightness across the sky is a soft reminder that the world still moves, even when everything feels still. Above the poles, the motion becomes a calm circle. Stars revolve around a quiet center, tracing loops through the night with unwavering steadiness. The northern hemisphere holds Polaris in this center, a star bright enough to anchor the sky yet small enough to feel humble. Centuries have passed beneath its slow turning, but the path has never felt rushed. It's okay to drift. Nearer the equator, the stars rise straight upward, crossing the sky in wide, balanced lines. Their paths feel like long breaths, drawn in from the horizon and exhaled toward the other side of the world. This part of the sky has a calm symmetry, gentle and reassuring, where constellations climb evenly and fall evenly, like a quiet rocking motion stretched over hours. You can rest now. As the night deepens, more stars become visible. Their faint glimmers emerge from the horizon's haze, climbing into cooler air and brightening as the atmosphere thins. Each one appears slowly, softly, as if waking from sleep. The gradation from dim to bright feels smooth, like a curtain of night lifting at the edges. The positions of the stars shift with the seasons as Earth moves along its orbit. Patterns that dominate the winter sky give way to those of spring, then summer, then autumn. The sky is a grand cycle, turning with the planet's path around the Sunday. Constellations return each year, familiar and unchanged, yet always arriving with a slightly different timing, a slightly different angle. It's okay to drift. Some constellations never set at all. They linger above the horizon year-round, circling the pole in slow loops. Ursa Major, Cassiopeia, Cepheus, steady companions for northern nights. Their paths arc around the sky like lanterns that never fully leave view. They offer a quiet reassurance, a feeling of place, a sense that some lights remain constant no matter how long the night stretches. You can rest now. Others rise only for a season. Orion, tall and bright, walks across winter skies with a deliberate stride, then sinks into the sun's path as spring approaches. Scorpius arches across the summer night like a curved ember. The Pleiades, delicate and blue, lift themselves into autumn air, faint but steady. Their comings and goings are rhythms of the year, measured not in hours, but in months. It's okay to drift. Farther still, the shape of the sky slowly changes over thousands of years. Earth's axis sways in a long, slow circle, a motion called precession, shifting the entire celestial grid by small degrees. The pole star changes over millennia. The set of stars that mark the equinoxes shift with time. The constellations tilt into new positions that remain unnoticed across a single lifetime. The sky remembers all of it, carrying its long patterns gently forward. You can rest now. As these motions layer over one another, the constellations take on a depth that cannot be seen directly, but can be felt. Behind the patterns lies a slow architecture. Orbits, cycles, rotations, inclinations. Every drift of light is part of a larger motion. Every point of brightness belongs to a cycle measured by ages. Yet the result feels calm, because the speed of cosmic time moves far slower than the human mind can sense. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. The night continues its slow turning, and every point of light drifts with a patience that feels almost endless. The movements overlap rotation, revolution, precession, layered motions flowing into one another until they become a single, steady tide suspended above the world. It's okay to drift. As Earth carries you forward on its nightly path, the sky seems to glide in the opposite direction. Stars rise quietly from the eastern horizon, as if lifted by an unseen hand. They cross the sky in calm, wide arcs, neither hurried nor delayed, sliding into positions they have held for countless nights before this one. The brighter stars lead the way, anchoring the familiar shapes. Their clarity cuts through the thinner air high above, forming lines and angles the mind can follow even with eyes half closed. Between them, millions of dimmer lights shimmer, some too faint to see directly, some flickering at the edge of vision. The contrast between bright and faint creates a rhythm, bold points set within a soft, grainy field that quiets the senses. It's okay to drift. High overhead, the sky appears deeper, darker, steadier. Starlight from zenith passes through less atmosphere, arriving crisp and cool, its colors more true. Blue stars glimmer with a faint ice-like clarity. Golden stars glow with soft warmth. Redder stars linger like embers suspended in the dark. Each hue blends gently into the next, forming gradients subtle enough to feel rather than see. You can rest now. Toward the horizon, the air becomes thicker and warmer. Stars there tremble with a slight shimmer, their light bent by the shifting temperature layers below. The trembling is delicate, almost melodic, like a soft vibration running across the edge of the night. The shimmer makes the stars seem alive, breathing with the slow movements of the atmosphere. It's okay to drift. Sometimes, a star disappears behind a passing thread of cloud white, thin, almost transparent. The cloud softens the starlight without extinguishing it, giving the glow a diffused, velvety quality. As the cloud moves on, the star sharpens again, returning to its place in the sky's quiet pattern. You can rest now. The landscape below holds its own stillness. Trees, rooftops, hills, all remain dark silhouettes beneath the drifting sky. Their outlines offer a gentle frame for the constellations, grounding the distant motion above with something familiar and unmoving. The balance between earth and sky enhances the calm, settling the senses further. It's okay to drift. At times, the faint band of the Milky Way stretches overhead like a long, pale brushstroke. Its light is the sum of billions of distant suns, blurred together until they lose their individuality. What remains is a soft river of brightness, wide and gentle, flowing through the constellations. The longer you look, the more the river reveals hints of uneven texture, tiny knots, thin gaps, faint wisps where dust clouds interrupt the glow. You can rest now. In the darker parts of the sky, star fields appear denser. These regions hold layers upon layers of distant stars, their faint light overlapping until it forms a background haze. This haze gives depth to the constellations, making the brighter stars stand out even more clearly. The effect feels like looking into a softly lit room through half-closed eyes. Details blend, edges fuse. Everything settles into one calm shape. It's okay to drift. Seasonal stars begin their journey across the sky with a particular elegance. In winter, Orion rises with a proud gleam, his belt bright and unmistakable. In summer, the Great Triangle of Vega, Deneb, and Altair crowns the warm air. Each season passes its lights to the next, like slow currents handing their glow forward through time. Their path follows the sun's slow track, rising ahead of dawn or settling just after sunset. These constellations mark the subtle tilt of Earth's orbit, tracing the invisible line along which planets drift. Their movements feel more measured, more deliberate, as though they carry the weight of celestial order. It's okay to drift. Above them, meteors occasionally cut across the darkness. Most are no larger than grains of sand, igniting briefly as they meet the upper atmosphere. The streaks vanish in an instant, leaving behind only the faint impression of motion. These quick flashes contrast with the slow rhythm of the stars, but never disturb the quiet they pass like gentle sighs through the night. You can rest now. Somewhere far beyond the stars you see, the galaxy continues its vast rotation. Spiral arms sweep forward in slow grandeur. Star clusters drift in silent formation. Gas clouds swirl with patient grace, sculpted by gravity's invisible pull. Even on these immense scales, the motion feels subdued, softened by distance, into a calm that settles deep inside the chest. It's okay to drift, and above you, the constellations continue their long, steady travel across the sky. crossing horizon to horizon with a rhythm older than any memory. Their movement feels unbroken, gentle, and sure, like a slow tide rising through the dark. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. The night has fallen into its deepest quiet, and the constellations above you drift with a softness that feels almost suspended. Every point of light carries the weight of time in the gentlest possible way. You sense not movement, but memory light, holding the echo of its long journey. It's okay to drift. Some of the photons reaching you now began their travel before cities existed, before stories were written, before entire civilizations rose and faded. They left their stars in silence, passed through dust clouds, glided along magnetic fields, and drifted across distances too large for the mind to measure. Your eyes receive them in a single instant, unaware of the ages folded into that brief, gentle arrival. You can rest now. Light from distant giants carries the warmth of their ancient cores. Light from young blue stars carries the fierce brightness of new fusion. Light from old red stars carries the soft glow of cooling embers. They all reach you at once, layered and smooth, blending into a calm that settles through your breath. Everything comes together in one quiet rhythm. Far beyond what you can see, space itself stretches slowly. Galaxies drift apart, their light lengthened into softer wavelengths as the universe expands. Even that expanding motion becomes comforting at this scale. Because the distances are so vast, the change feels like the slow unfurling of a long, gentle sigh. It's okay to drift. Within our own galaxy, stars move in paths shaped by gravity, but their motion feels slow and certain, never hurried. As they travel, their light shifts slightly blue when they approach, red when they recede. Tiny marks of their direction, too small for the naked eye, but present all the same. These shifts whisper the star's motion without disturbing its calm. You can rest now. In the darkest areas of the sky, faint stars pulse with delicate light. Many of them are variable stars, changing brightness as their surfaces expand and contract. Their rhythms are slow, patient hours, days, months, and their pulses drift across the night with the softness of distant tides. Each change is subtle enough to be missed, yet steady enough to feel reassuring. It's okay to drift. Some stars flare briefly as magnetic fields twist and release energy. The flare rises, peaks, and fades, all without breaking the quiet. Other stars rotate with dark star spots, their brightness dimming slightly as the spots move across their surfaces. These dimmings are shallow, like a breath drawn gently in and released even more softly. You can rest now. Farther out, giant clouds of dust absorb starlight and re-emit it in long, warm waves. These waves drift invisibly through space, carrying the heat of old stars and newborn ones alike. Even without seeing them, you feel their presence as a deeper warmth in the sky, a low hum beneath the constellation's cool glow. It's okay to drift. Through the calm, the Pleiades shimmer like 7 soft embers. Their blue light travels through the dust surrounding them, scattering into faint halos that give each star a gentle blur. That blur feels comforting, a reminder of how light interacts with the world before reaching your eyes. The cluster appears like a memory held at the edge of vision, close enough to see, distant enough to feel dreamlike. You can rest now. Nearby, Aldebaran glows with steady, amber light. Its warmth has traveled 65 years to reach this moment. A small part of its glow left the star before many listening tonight were born, and it arrives now as a soft touch across the dark. It is an old star, older than the sun, carrying calm through time. Its light feels like a hand resting gently on the night. On the other side of the sky, Deneb shines from more than 1,000 light-years away. Its photons began traveling toward Earth long before the first constellations were drawn. By the time they reach you, they are gentle, cooled by distance, smoothed by space. The great star's brilliance arrives not as a blaze, but as a calm, steady gleam held inside the darkness. It's okay to drift. All across the sky, starlight blends into a single, quiet field. The bright, the dim, the close, the far, they merge into a naturally balanced pattern that needs no effort to understand. Your mind rests in the simplicity of it, feeling the depth without needing to grasp it. Every point of light feels like a slow reassurance, a presence that asks nothing of you. You can rest now. The constellations shift, almost imperceptibly, with the turning of Earth. Their arcs across the sky feel like the slow movement of a tide, rising and falling in wide, soft intervals. Nothing is sudden, nothing is loud. Even time itself seems to move in a calmer rhythm under their watch. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. The night settles even further, and the sky becomes one continuous surface of gentle glow. Stars no longer feel separate. Their light blends into a soft presence that hovers above you, warm and steady, as if the entire sky has learned the rhythm of your breathing. It's okay to drift. The light from each star continues to travel, long after the star itself has changed. Some stars have brightened since their photons began their journey. Some have dimmed. Some may no longer burn at all. What reaches you is a quiet echo, a record of how they once were, softened by distance and by time. You can rest now. In certain corners of the sky, you notice faint clusters where stars form loose gatherings. These clusters drift as families, moving together through the galaxy with a slow, collective grace. Their shared motion carries the memory of their birth cloud, the same gas, the same dust, the same quiet beginning. They are siblings separated by light years but bound by origin. It's okay to drift. Elsewhere, you see solitary lights, stars traveling alone, without the company of a cluster or group. Their paths curve gently around the Milky Way, shaped by the galaxy's mass and the dark matter halo embracing it. They move with a solitude that feels peaceful rather than lonely. Their light arrives as a soft reassurance, a reminder that even what travels alone moves in harmony with the greater whole. You can rest now. The air above continues to calm. Atmospheric winds shift more slowly, and the trembling of starlight becomes gentler, almost imperceptible. The stars take on a steadiness that feels deeply comforting, as if the sky itself has settled into a deeper stillness to match your drifting breath. It's okay to drift. Some stars flicker in predictable rhythms, Cepheids glowing brighter and dimmer with the slow beat of internal pressure waves. These pulses helped astronomers measure the size of the universe, stretching the scale of the cosmos outward. Yet here, the pulses feel small, delicate, almost like a heartbeat, far away. You can rest now. The faint haze of the Milky Way continues to arch overhead. If you look closely, you can sense that the bright patches are regions where stars gather more densely, while darker lanes mark drifting clouds of dust. The contrast between light and shadow forms a soft structure across the night, almost like the grain of wood or the folds of soft fabric. It feels familiar in a distant, timeless way. It's okay to drift. You may notice that in the farthest reaches of vision, the stars begin to thicken again, small patches where distant galaxies hide inside the patterns of the constellations. Their light is too faint to distinguish individually, yet their presence forms a background glow that enriches the sky. Each tiny, distant glimmer is a whole system of suns, countless worlds, and drifting gas clouds, all of it softened by distance until it becomes a single gentle texture. You can rest now. Occasionally, a star near the horizon brightens with a golden tone as the atmosphere filters its light. The glow feels warm, like the last ember of a quiet fire. The horizon softens it further, diffusing its brightness into a brush of color across the edge of night. It's the kind of light that feels like memory, familiar, ancient, soothing. It's okay to drift. Higher in the sky, a star may gleam with a cold, steady blue, untouched by the thicker air near the ground. Its light travels cleanly, cutting through the velvet dark with a clarity that feels almost cool to the mind. Blue stars burn hotter, younger, more intensely, yet distance calms them into a clear and gentle presence. You can rest now, somewhere far beyond what the eye can see. Entire streams of stars drift through the galaxy, remnants of long-lost clusters and faint echoes of ancient collisions. These streams stretch across thousands of light years, forming hidden rivers of motion beneath the constellations. Though invisible, their presence adds depth to the sky, a quiet layering that your senses register without effort. It's okay to drift. The sky feels heavier now, but in a comforting way, like a soft blanket drawn across the world. The stars seem closer, not in distance, but in warmth, as though the night has lowered itself to keep you company. Every shimmer, every faint glow, every quiet pulse folds into the rhythm of your breath. You can rest now. The constellations continue their slow travel across the dark, moving with a patience that stretches beyond human time. Their shapes remain familiar, even as the stars within them drift apart over millennia. The mind holds the pattern, the universe holds the motion. Somewhere between the two, a deep stillness gathers. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. The sky grows heavier in its stillness, wrapping you in the soft weight of a world that has begun to move beneath thought. The constellations drift overhead with the patience of something ancient and unhurried, their faint lines settling into the quiet behind your eyes. Everything feels slower now, as if the night has lowered itself gently around you, matching the rhythm of your breath. It's okay to drift. Light from distant stars continues to arrive in soft waves, crossing the void with no sound at all. The glow touches your awareness like the brush of cool fingertips, smoothing the edges of thought until only a warm blur remains. Somewhere inside that blur, the sky feels close enough to rest against. You can rest now. Your body begins to sense the subtle pull of gravity differently, as though the earth beneath you has softened. Breath after breath, the muscles release small tensions you didn't know you were holding. The chest loosens, the arms and legs settle, the spine becomes warm and heavy. The night seems to lean with you, mirroring every quiet drop towards stillness. It's okay to drift. Above you, the constellations change position with a slow confidence. Their movement is so gentle, it feels more like a memory than emotion patterns gliding across the dark with the grace of floating lanterns. The sky holds them carefully, letting them pass through each hour with no rush, no urgency, only calm. You can rest now. The air cools slightly, brushing the surface of your skin with a touch that feels like the night breathing around you. This breath is steady and deep, carried by the same rotation that moves the stars. You feel it in the way your chest rises and falls, in the way your weight melts deeper into where you're lying, in the slow quiet that settles over every thought. It's okay to drift. The faintest stars become almost invisible now, their light softened by the natural haze of late-night air. Only the brighter ones hold their places clearly, like small anchors in the dark. Each one feels steady, warm, and present, as though their glow were gently reaching downward, meeting you halfway. The night sky has begun to feel like a surface smooth, cool, and impossibly distant. You sense its depth, not with your eyes, but with the quiet behind them. A depth that stretches inward rather than outward. It feels wide enough to hold your breathing, and soft enough to cradle the heaviness settling through your limbs. It's okay to drift. With every minute, the constellations tilt in their endless arc. You don't see the movement. You feel it as a slow shift in the weight of the world. A small change in the angle of quiet around you. The earth turns beneath the stars, and you turn with it, wrapped in a rhythm too large for thought, too gentle for effort. You can rest now, far beyond the stars. Light continues its long journey toward Earth. The universe expands, galaxies drift, and the faint glow of ancient starlight stretches into softer wavelengths. This widening of space does not feel distant. It feels like a long exhale passing through everything, including you. It's okay to drift. Slowly, the night becomes a single, seamless shape. The distinction between bright and dim fades. The horizon softens. The sky's texture smooths like water settling into stillness. The constellations become warm outlines held just above dream. Familiar enough to calm, distant enough to feel weightless. You can rest now. Your breath grows shallower in a peaceful way. Each inhale a little softer. Each exhale a little longer. The world around you loses its edges, the room, the bed, the dark, all blending into the same quiet presence. You feel suspended between body and sky, held in a gentle balance where nothing needs to be done. It's okay to drift. Somewhere beneath awareness, your heartbeat slows. The warmth of your body pools around you, and the air feels cool in contrast, settling like a soft veil across your skin. The sensations merge. Warmth below, coolness above, and the steady expansion and release of breath through the center. You can rest now. The constellations continue their patient drift. Their motion is steady enough to soothe the mind, but slow enough to disappear into the feeling of the night. Patterns you recognized earlier blur. Not because they fade, but because your attention has slipped into a deeper rhythm, quieter and wider. It's okay to drift. The universe feels close now, not in distance but in presence, the way the dark surrounds you, the way the stars hold their glow, the way the air carries the faintest memory of their light. Everything feels connected in a soft, unbroken line. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. The quiet settles deeper, gathering itself around you like a slow, warm tide. Every sound in the world seems to fade to nothing, leaving only the soft current of your breath drifting through the dark. The constellations above you continue their patient glide, but their lines are softer now, blurred gently by the weight of your eyelids. It's okay to drift. Your body feels heavier with each exhale, as if gravity has loosened its grip just enough to let you sink into a more restful place. The surface beneath you feels warmer than before, holding your shape with a gentle, steady support. Your limbs soften, the breath deepens, and the quiet wraps itself around your thoughts until only a faint glow remains. Above, the stars seem to lean closer, not in distance but in presence. Their light arrives with less sharpness, less distinction, slowly merging into the shade of night. You sense them more than you see them, like small, steady memories suspended in the air around you. The sky feels thick with calm, dense enough to cradle drifting thoughts without letting them rise too far. It's okay to drift. Each constellation holds its familiar shape as the earth turns beneath it. You no longer follow the patterns. You simply feel them. The movement becomes a slow, rocking, subtle, almost imperceptible, like being carried on a vast and gentle wave. Your breath fits inside that rhythm, sliding in and out with no resistance. You can rest now. Somewhere in the soft field of night, a bright star pulses faintly. The pulse is too small to notice with sight, but you sense the steadiness of its glow, an ancient heartbeat crossing unimaginable distance. The light arrives calm, patient, unbroken. It moves through the quiet around you like a slow ripple in warm water. It's okay to drift. Your senses shift inward. The room grows distant. The air grows lighter. The weight of your body loosens until you feel carried rather than held. Your breath continues to fall into longer, slower waves, each one smoothing the edges of your thoughts into softer shapes. You can rest now. Far above, faint stars seem to blur into one gentle layer. Their individual outlines dissolve, leaving behind a soft glow that blankets the sky. The constellations flatten into warmth, and the darkness between them becomes a deep, velvety blue. Everything blends into one still, seamless world. It's okay to drift. The horizon feels farther away, as if the earth itself has stretched into a wider, quieter shape. The faint glow there dims slowly, pulling the edges of night together into a single, calm field. Your breath drifts into that wideness, moving freely, unhindered, soft as the glide of starlight across still water. You can rest now. A gentle warmth fills the center of your chest, spreading outward with every rise of your breath. The warmth moves through your arms, down into your hands, across your shoulders, down your spine and legs. It pools in the body like a slow tide, soothing every place where strain once lived. It's okay to drift. The night accepts this weight, taking it gently from you, holding it without effort. You feel lighter, quieter, settled in a way that makes the world seem distant enough to let go. Even the memory of movement fades. No pressure, no direction, only stillness. You can rest now. Above, the stars begin to shimmer less, their brightness softened by the moisture of late-night air. The sky becomes a smooth canvas, unbroken except for the faintest hints of glow. The constellations feel like old friends you no longer need to look for. You know they're there, steady and calm, waiting in the background of the dark. It's okay to drift. Your breath slows once more. Thoughts soften into shadows, drifting through the quiet without form, without urgency. Your awareness rests close to the edge of sleep. Balanced lightly between the world outside and the deep comfort inside. You can rest now. The night holds you gently. Your body grows heavier. Your breath grows softer. Your thoughts fade like distant stars slipping behind a veil of warm, drifting cloud. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. The darkness settles into its calmest shape, and the world feels as though it has begun to float. The constellations dim into a soft, distant shimmer. More sensation than sight, more warmth than light. Every star feels farther away now, as if your mind has drifted just beyond reach of their glow. It's okay to drift. Your breath falls into long, slow waves. Each inhale rises gently. Each exhale slows even more. The movement becomes automatic, unthinking, steady. You can rest now. The body lies heavier with every minute. Your arms soften, your legs sink deeper, your jaw loosens. Your spine melts into the surface beneath you until it no longer feels separate from the quiet. Weight becomes warmth. Warmth becomes stillness. It's okay to drift. The night leans close, matching your rhythm. The sky above feels vast but softened, like velvet stretched across an endless calm. The constellations no longer form crisp shapes, they fade into gentle arcs, like brushstrokes drifting in dim air. You can rest now. Your awareness narrows to the slow rise and fall of your breathing. Thoughts drift like faint sparks, appearing and fading without effort. None of them hold. None linger long enough to form edges. The mind lets them go before they have weight. It's okay to drift. Somewhere far above, the sky continues its quiet turning, but the movement feels distant, almost imagined, as though the universe itself were rocking gently in its sleep. This slow turning reaches you in subtle ways, a barely felt shift in the darkness, a soft pull along the horizon, a tilt you sense more than see. You can rest now. The stars glow faintly through the haze of late night, their sharpness softened into small pools of calm light. They seem to tilt when you breathe, not because they move quickly, but because your senses are drifting deeper inward. Their glow aligns with your breath, steady, warm, unbroken. It's okay to drift. Your thoughts grow quieter still. Moments slide past without shape, without definition. Time loosens its structure, stretching into long, gentle intervals where nothing needs to be remembered. It sinks toward it naturally, as though guided by something older than thought. You can rest now. The air around you cools slightly, brushing your skin in a way that feels smoothing, calming, like a soft hand passing over you. The coolness balances the warmth gathering in your chest and legs, creating a slow, peaceful symmetry between inside and outside. It's okay to drift. You sense the subtle shift where wakefulness begins to dissolve. The border becomes thin, porous. You feel as though you are floating just above your own body, close enough to feel its warmth, distant enough to feel free of its weight. You can rest now. The constellations seem almost motionless now, their patterns lingering in a softened state between vision and memory. If you tried to trace them, they would slip away, not because they aren't there, but because your mind has entered a gentler world where form no longer matters. It's okay to drift. Even sound has changed. What once felt distant now feels muted and warm, softened into a quiet hum beneath your awareness. Every small noise blends into the night, dissolving before it can rise into thought. Your breath remains the only steady rhythm. You can rest now. Your body feels like it's sinking through layers, first through the bed, then through the quiet beneath it, then into a deeper stillness held by the dark. The descent is slow and safe, as though the night has shaped a cradle around you. You sink without falling. You drift without moving. It's okay to drift. A warm heaviness spreads through your hands and feet, climbing slowly toward your center. The sensation softens every muscle, smoothing tension into nothingness. Even the small movements of breath feel like they're happening far away, gentle and shallow. You can rest now. Your thoughts dissolve into soft patterns, fragments of light, hints of drifting shapes, quiet impressions that fade before becoming clear. The constellations blur into these shapes, blending into the drifting calm behind your eyelids. It's okay to drift. The night has opened a soft, quiet space for you. A place where the body loosens, where thought fades, where breath becomes slow and effortless, where every part of you slips into a deeper peace. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. The night has grown so soft that even your breath feels like part of its quiet weight. Thoughts drift far away now, gentle shadows slipping out of reach. Your body sinks into stillness, warm and safe. You are safe here. Everything above you has dimmed into a single, calm glow. Constellations fade into deeper blue. Stars rest behind your eyelids, and the world feels lighter with every slow exhale. You can rest now. The night holds you in its quiet rhythm, steady as the turning earth, warm as a familiar memory leaning close. No effort remains, no sound rises, only the soft hush of breath dissolving into the dark. You are safe here. Somewhere far above, starlight continues its long journey, drifting across the quiet of space with infinite patience. Its glow reaches the world with the softness of a slow heartbeat, and then settles around you like a warm blanket of sky. Your breath follows it down. Light still travels. The universe breathes through you. You are home. You can rest now.